Marble is one of the most expensive rocks in the world. A block of it can cost $500,000. The ancient Romans built the Pantheon with it, and it is still used today in the most important buildings in the world. Every day, 500 tons of marble are extracted from the mountain using enormous machines and powerful explosives. But how is marble extracted from quarries? We visited a factory to discover how they cut and polish marble. In northwestern Italy lies one of the world's largest marble deposits. Marble has been extracted here since Roman times, about 1,700 meters above sea level, where one of the largest marble extraction quarries in the world is located. In the northern hills of Italy, Carrara's white marble has been mined for centuries. A white line crowns the mountains that rise above the city of Carrara. This place was once a seabed covered with shells, but over more than 140 million years, these shells were transformed by enormous tectonic forces into peaks of thousands of meters in height, all made of white stone. What might look like snow-capped mountains from a distance are actually mountains made entirely of marble. The marble from this region is valued worldwide for its pure white quality, and due to its ancient history, Carrara's quarries have produced more marble than any other place on Earth. The entire quarry is valued at over 1 billion euros and produces 4 million tons of marble annually. A slab can cost up to 400 euros per square meter. Over the course of history, it has been used to build important buildings, such as the Pantheon in Rome or the iconic statue of David by Michelangelo. With massive machines, they rip the valuable rock from the mountain and transport it down treacherous roads to the valley, where its journey around the world begins. The roads are steep and narrow, with many dangerous curves. Every day, 600 trucks drive on these roads, each carrying 50 tons of marble. This quarry has 25 levels, each 8 meters high, with a total height of 200 meters. The first stage is drilling. Miners use drills to make strategic holes in the mountain to extract the marble. A new section of the mountain must be blasted away. 75 kilograms of explosives have just arrived that will detonate the rock wall. The holes where the explosives are placed are 3 meters deep to break the rock. The explosive must detonate deep within to crack the rock. Once the blasting is done, the extraction of marble blocks begins. Every day, 500 tons of marble are cut, but to do this without damaging it, a cutting cable is used, which cuts through the marble like cheese. This cable is reinforced with a series of round beads impregnated with one of the hardest materials in the world, synthetic diamonds. There are several extraction methods for cutting marble blocks. Workers can use a chainsaw, which can penetrate up to 5 meters deep in marble, or a 5mm diamond wire saw. To obtain the marble, the quarryman drills 3 holes, 1 vertical from the top and 2 from the base. A long saw is placed on rails to cut horizontally at the bottom of the rock. Once this cut is finished, the operation moves to the top, where a worker passes a diamond wire through the rock to cut the back. The ends of the wire are connected, and then it is attached to a 50-horsepower motor's inertia flywheel. With this machine, they can cut a mountain with great precision. The wire cuts through the rock and is continuously lubricated with water as it spins. Since water acts as a lubricant, the technique is repeated twice to cut the remaining sides until the block is fully detached from the mountain. At full power, the reinforced cable can cut at 45 meters per second. Sometimes, large chainsaws are used to cut extremely heavy blocks. The cutter will take 10 hours to cut through the marble. When the 2 cuts meet, this marble block is ready to be extracted. The next step is to remove the giant block from the mountainside. The piece weighs 500 tons and is so tightly attached to the mountain that it would be impossible to lever it with an excavator. The ancient Romans sometimes placed wooden wedges in marble cracks and soaked them with water so they would expand and split the rock. Today, hydroblasting is used. Rocks are placed in the crack to prevent the marble from moving. As the bags expand, larger stones are added to keep the opening wide enough to bring in heavy machinery. The excavator enters and stops when the marble tilts over the edge. They need to ensure it doesn't break upon hitting the ground. The fall of the marble block is cushioned with a bed of sand and clay. With a price of around €1.5 million, it's crucial that the block falls correctly. The machinery gently pushes it so it lands on a soft pile of earth. The giant marble block has not been damaged. Each block is 8 meters tall, 6 meters wide, and weighs 500 tons. The blocks are too large, so they are cut into smaller 18-ton pieces. Marble cutting is typically done with vertical cuts, although horizontal cuts are sometimes made, depending on the morphology of the area. A diamond saw is used to remove defective parts. Once the marble blocks are cut, they are transported to the truck with an excavator. Often, the pieces are so large and heavy that even the excavator's bucket struggles. In such cases, they are recut with the diamond saw. In the past, blocks would slide down the mountain, but now they are loaded onto trucks. Dump trucks are loaded with special care, and sometimes 2 excavators are needed, depending on the size and weight of the marble. The dump trucks transport the marble blocks from the upper levels to the lower quarry plant. There, the blocks are washed after the extraction process. Before moving the blocks, specialists must take steps to ensure they are the correct shape with the proper cutting method. Due to their large size and weight, the blocks must be moved and handled with specific machinery during loading, unloading, and processing. Once the classification process is finished, huge shovels load the blocks into trucks that will carry them along the winding road to QUARRY. Each journey from the valley is extremely dangerous. The slightest mistake can mean death. Around 600 trucks travel this route daily. When the marble blocks are loaded, they head to factories or the port of QUARRY. After a 45-minute trip, the trucks deliver the marble to the factory, where it will be turned into one of the most expensive marble slabs in the world. A single slab can cost more than $1,000, depending on how it's extracted, and some blocks will be more expensive than others. For example, a Calcutta marble slab can cost over $10,000 per ton. Last year, 1.2 million tons of blocks crossed the Italian border to China, the United States, and Germany. The rest is sent to local businesses and artisan workshops distributed along the coastal towns of western Tuscany. The blocks are usually stored outdoors in the block yard until the next phase of marble processing. The marble remains in the yard until an order comes in to decorate the walls of an elegant building. It must be cut according to the order. In the saw area, the blocks are cut into smaller slabs with 76 diamond saws. The saw cuts slabs as thin as 2 centimeters. Then they are shaped and polished. Polishing enhances the shine of the marble, leaving a smooth, glossy surface. The workers who handle Carrara marble continue a centuries-old craft tradition. The extraction of marble ends at the port of Carrara, where the marble pieces are loaded onto ships and transported to the designers of the world's most exclusive buildings. If you want to know how cement is made, the link is in the description and the first comment. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and share it with someone who might be interested. Also, subscribe to this channel and activate notifications to keep learning.